Okay. All right. Welcome everyone to this session. So this is automation, right? Introduction to software testing automation, actually, right? So this is myself. My name is Deji Emmanuel. I am an MVP with Microsoft, and I've got 2 decades of experience in software testing and even as a Scrum Master, as a developer with different blue chip companies like HSBC, Rabobank, European Bank of Construction. I even have opportunity to pick a role with World Bank, but which I rejected. It's an honor anyway. So yeah, and I'll be going through the automation today, right? So, and that will be what we need to look into anyway. So, okay, 1 minute. So I'm going to stop recording for a while. Okay. All right. So let's start with testing anyway. I know this session is about automation testing, but testing in itself has been divided into different parts anyway. So, but testing, you can have what we call static and dynamic testing, right? But before you can start testing, you need to do planning, you need to do preparation. It's like cooking a jollof rice anyway. So, and you have to get yourself ready, prepare before you can start to mix all the ingredients and or the uh, whether rice or whatever you want, whether you are cooking Nigerian rice or you are cooking Ghanaian rice. Let us not go there. But yeah, so but one thing that I need to tell you is like testing is there to for you to be able to check whether something is okay. That's basically in layman language anyway. So the purpose that you are testing is for you to be able to establish that the application works as expected. That's what you're so you can do that using manual or automation, right? So and yeah, so basically that is a purpose. So you want to establish that, yeah, your application meets the required process anyway. So, and I would want to also let you know that testing is not a one-shops process. Is like a process of different activities, right? So you have different activities that you come together, not like, okay, I want to test, you jump on it. So there are different activities that are involved anyway. So for manual testing, you test this application using manual testing, manual way. You are not involved in coding or automation. And one thing I want to tell people as well is like some people would think everything revolves around automation. No, I will tell you there are a lot of jobs in manual testing. And in fact, there are more jobs as a manual tester than automation tester because most application or even companies also would kind of employ more manual tester than automation tester. And some, even in some instances, some companies don't even have any automation tester, but they would employ a manual tester. And one thing that I also want to also let you guys know that even as an automation tester, you might be employed as an automation tester. You might not even write any code at all because the company want to first focus on the manual part before they move into automation. That's a different discussion entirely anyway. But one thing that you know is like, even though you're automation tester, you also will be doing manual testing as well. Now, automation testing is basically testing using a tool, right? There are different tools that you can use, right, for automation, right? So you need to know these tools and you need to know how to use them. They are different languages as well, right? So that you can use them for as well. So you need to also know what languages is suitable for a particular application. So talking about languages, right? that uh, that you can use for automation. I want to share a joke that this I think is even my wife actually. So she was doing she was doing an interview with she was actually the one that's anchoring the interview, and the interview is one of the interview actually came in and they were actually talking about what language do you know, right? and he was saying Punjabi or something like that. It was like, no, we are talking about language that you write for your automation. Don't be like that particular person as well. Anyway, to say when you go for an interview, they ask you what language you understand, and you say it's Yoruba or Igbo. Anyway, no, we are not talking about those languages. We are talking about programming languages anyway. But however, I won't blame the person because maybe the interviewers did not actually specify what they are talking about, because one, you have to be specific. That's one good thing about uh, test automation and also even test in general, right? So you have to be specific, right? And you need to test based on what the application does, right? Which is written in the requirement. So that's another thing. So yeah, we are going to talk about the language today and also that we are going to use, right? But majorly, automation testing is there for you to be able to reduce effort, right? And also for you to be able to run your tests in a repetitive manner with less human intervention, actually, right? So which makes sure it's more affordable, right? And also it's the major thing is it actually gives you less effort and also improve the quality. Anyway, yeah. So should you have any question, please do, yeah, send it across anyway. So in terms of test automation tools, you have a vast number of them, like I said, right? So, and also you have a lot of languages that you can use it for, whether C#, JavaScript, Java, and also you have with even VB script or even with Ruby and the like. So yeah, unfortunately, this screenshot that I have hasn't got Playwright. Maybe that's another thing, but it's the old version. So in Playwright is very new, right? So and also if you look into that, so there are a lot of tools out there. If I may ask, right? So maybe on the chart, let's see if you are thinking about one particular uh, software automation tool, right? That is most what's it called? Popular, right? The most popular automation tool. What will you look into? What will you say? Okay, let's put in the chat. What's the most popular automation tool that you have? You know, right? Okay. Someone is saying Selenium, Pitman, Java. Okay. All right. Python. Okay. Which is good. Well done. .nwr. I don't know that one. Maven. Right. So, okay. All right. Okay. Visual Studio. Okay. All right. So, okay. All right. So, okay, Appium, right. So, all right. So, which is good. So now maybe we should expand. I'm coming back to that question. So let's just put all the automation tools that you know, right? And maybe you might not even have worked on it anyway. So, but one thing I want to say, right, even though some of them will be tools, some of them also will be languages as well. So we kind of use them interchangeably anyway. So, and for instance, Python, even though it's a tool for automation, is also a language that we use to write the automation on anyway. So I would say the most important one is Selenium, actually, right? The most important one is Selenium, but there's other ones as well that are coming. So for instance, if 2 years ago we are talking, okay, let me also now ask you a question. So Selenium is the most popular one. So what is in terms of not popularity now, right? So which one is the newest one that people are talking about that is now very, very vast now, is now popular? So which of the tools is now the most popular in terms of people now accepting it more, right? So, and which one is that one? This is now a new tool, but it's now picking up actually, and also maybe competing very well with Selenium. Okay. All right, cool. A lot of people are saying Playwright, which is brilliant anyway. So now if I ask you, 3 years ago, which one is it? So 3 years ago, which one is that tool that is popular, right, and competing with Selenium, right? So now Playwright is the one that is competing with Selenium, right, and is really, really doing it very well, right? So, but except from Selenium, I've been there since 2000, and I've been working with Selenium since 2009, right? And I'll share you a story about how I got to know about it anyway. So yeah, so but except from Selenium 3 years ago, which tool do you think is popular except from Selenium? Java is a language. Java would forever be popular. Jenkins, okay, not really, right? Okay, so let's bring it up anyway. So as you can see, people are bringing different tools that we've used, but I'm talking about the ones that are really making wave 3 years ago, right? Maybe it's still making wave, but not as Python, right? So it starts with C, right? So if I just give an indication of that anyway. So yeah. Cucumber has been really been there for a long while, right? So it's been, thank you, Olusegun. It is Cyprus, actually. So, and sometimes it's not Cyprus, right? It's Cyprus. Thank you, Lanre, as well. Thank you, Igor. Yeah, so it's Cyprus. So yeah, I think you guys already got it now. Yeah, it's Cyprus. Cyprus, if you 3 years ago, if you're looking for a test automation tool to learn, except from Selenium, Cyprus it is anyway, but it's no longer the most popular automation tool right nowadays, right? So okay, all right, so skip this one anyways. That is not really relevant. So okay, sorry. So and these are all about Selenium. So I'm going to skip this one, so because all these are not really relevant anyway. So yeah. So okay, for test automation, right? So as test automation, you would be earning. So as a test automation engineer, you'll be earning around 52,000 in, yeah, if you know what your job, but it starts from, let's say, 40 to above. And to be honest, you might also be getting around 70,000 or 65 as test automation too. Even as a manual tester, of course, test automation engineer will earn more than manual tester anyway, right? But of course, there are more manual testing role than automation. Let me put that there anyway. So on the average, you can see it might be 40,000 or 52,000 anyway, depending on who you ask anyway. So this is another one for a junior test automation, 35,000 anyway. So yeah, so as you can see, this is how everything rank up anyway. So okay, so I'm going to skip this one for now. We are not looking at test manual testing anyway. So okay, all right, 1 minute. So okay, any question before I move forward? Any question? Any question?
So are the tools the languages of testing? Those tools that we look at.
Sorry, say that one again.
You talk about the languages the other time. You give
Yeah.
us an illustration of someone in an interview. So those
Okay.
tools that we look at, are they the languages?
Okay, so the tools are different, languages are different. Okay, for you to be able to use a tool, right? Most especially tools that are for automation and they are programming based, you need to use a language, right? So languages will be that particular in whether it's a compiler or is an interpreter. Let me not actually make it to be confused. Let me use a layman language, right? So for you to be able to build a house, you need to have a land, right? So basically, you will call that language land, right? That you use to actually build that your house upon. So the language will be like C Sharp, Java, Python, JavaScript, right? So, okay. All right, let's put in the chat or every language that you guys know. I think you can even go to ChatGPT quickly and say, okay, what are the languages that you can use for test automation? Let's put in the chat quickly so I can be able to look into that. So I've already mentioned a few. It's okay to repeat them anyway, so that is fine. Anyway, so yeah, so I've seen C Sharp there. Any other one? Right. So, okay, C Sharp again, right. So, and one thing that this session will do for you is to kind of look into your knowledge and also validate it as well. Python, thank you, woman. Yeah. So, is another one. Java is another one as well. Anyway, yeah. Okay, and what else do we have? Okay, Ruby. Ruby has been there for a while, many years actually. It's still in the C++, JavaScript, yeah, and also TypeScript as well. Thank you for that. Yeah, so those are languages, right? So that you can use anyway, yeah.